All right, talk a little Utah football, off-season, in-season, all of it, with Utah defensive coordinator Morgan Scalley. All right, let's start off with this one. How would you gauge your excitement about this team in the upcoming season?
I'm always excited for what's new. And with the transfer portal, the past couple seasons, you get more new faces.
Right.
And so I love the development, the teaching aspect of this game and particularly this profession. And I'm excited for the new scheme that Jason has brought in. So it's what's new, faces, but scheme as well that you see. We saw that in spring ball, and now heading into fall camp, you've got a few new faces, both from the transfer portal and also from incoming freshmen. And I'm excited to see what we got. A lot of talent, and now we just got to get them ready.
It's funny, today's day and age, the portal, everybody's dealing with the same thing. It's not the old days where you recruit a guy and you keep him for 4 or 5 years. Those will be outliers now. But what's the biggest challenge, in addition to the roster management, but once you get them on campus, you know they're here, what's the biggest challenge with your defense in getting these guys up to speed quickly?
The biggest challenge has been navigating what's the trade-off in scheme. You know, you go less scheme, more behavior, because at the end of the day, it's about behavior. Behavior wins championships. Tackling, intercepting the ball, footwork, inside hands, all that stuff matters. You do have to have a good enough flavor of the week to be able to keep teams honest. But that's been the biggest challenge: is what is too much schematically? What is too much for them to learn? You're also dealing with recruiting young men now that maybe you, whereas before, okay, we're going to take this kid, and after a couple years, we can develop him and he'll be that guy for us. Well, now we got to take more ready-made freshmen. You know, if you're going to take a high school kid, you're taking more ready-made.
Right.
All we have to do really is put a few pounds on him, but teach him the game, essentially. So more challenges have come along as the rules have changed, as the portal has been more of an influence. But what will never change is culture will always matter, in my opinion.
It's funny, you mentioned just a second ago, one of the things that had you excited about the upcoming season was kind of the new offense and seeing, talking to the offensive guys, they said one of the thing they're excited about is seeing your defense, because they've seen them all spring long, and to see them in action this fall. What's been your takeaway of Jason's offense as you went head to head with him this spring? And I think I heard you say a couple of different times, one of the reasons that you were excited in what you saw was his offense puts pressure and stresses defenses.
It does. We watched a number of offenses just in the interview process. Coach Witt included us, and just tell me what you think of these different offenses. And Jason's was one that I was like, man, that'd be difficult to go against. The shifts and motions, the formation of the boundary that forces you out of disguises, a running quarterback. So when you get a running quarterback, there are designed quarterback runs that you'll face, which Jason has, but then there's he just can make plays and with his legs, and it's one of those deals. You're in a 4-man rush and you drop everyone in coverage, and he makes you pay by running for the first down. There's nothing more frustrating for a coordinator than that quarterback escaping and getting a first down with his legs, and when you had everything D'd up. So all the elements really of tough offensive football that offense provides.
Yeah, it's funny. You've been around and you played here and you've coached here. And what I've told people, because people are always curious about the quarterback and Devin Dampier, he's unique. There have been other guys that have used it. Cam Rising used his legs. Tyler Huntley would use his legs. Travis Wilson used his legs. But I don't think in my 20-plus years of being around this program, I've seen a guy at the quarterback position that could do some of the things that I saw in practice this spring that Devin could do. You've seen a lot of quarterbacks here. Has Utah had a guy like Devin Dampier?
Oh, man. I think each quarterback has had their unique skill set. Devin is probably one of the better QBs throwing on the run, which, not a lot of quarterbacks can do that. They want their feet set. They want, and he's just got a knack of being able to stay alive, keep his eyes downfield, and he's really accurate when he's throwing on the run. So that's what we all noticed as a defensive staff just in scouting him. That's where a bunch of the plays were made. So he is the other thing about him is that he can command the huddle, which I don't think that you've had a ton of. Cam did it, right? But just the ability for guys, okay, I know this stuff. This is our offense. Here we go. And I understand that they're not huddling, but when they're on the sideline and he's talking to them, they listen. He's got a great energy about him. He's great leadership qualities. He's still becoming a leader for this team. That takes time to gain trust. But man, is he doing the work?
Every defense every year is a little bit different than the year before. Scheme's the same, philosophy the same, culture the same, but the players come and go and you move. What's going to be unique based on the personnel you've got about this year's Utah defense?
I think we can utilize a little bit more of the defensive ends in third down rush game. Four defensive ends in at a time, 5 defensive ends in at a time. I'm excited about the athleticism of our defensive tackles. The secondary is coming into shape. I just think we have enough versatility at different positions that we can get creative.
Let me do some rapid fire on some guys.
Yep.
Just quick thoughts. Lander Barton.
Captain, leader of the defense. For me, excited to see a fully healthy Lander Barton, which I think he got to near the end of the season last year.
Teo Johnson.
This should be his most, the most improvement usually comes from year 1 to year 2, and last year was his first year at free safety. He's put on weight, he's faster, and now he's starting to understand how what he does fits in the grand scheme of things, and he should be a draft pick.
Smith Snowden.
Versatility. Returning kicks, playing nickel, playing outside corner, a guy that can do it all.
It's funny. You and I are both Kansas City Chiefs fans. We enjoy the Kansas City Chiefs. And one of the best players on the Kansas City Chiefs was also a guy you got to see up close when he played for the Washington Huskies. Are there some similarities between Smith Snowden and
you bet?
You bet. His name is now escaping me.
Yeah,
from Kansas City. McDuffie, Trent McDuffie. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, he's got the speed and the physicality, the smarts to be able to do it all, and that's what you see at Kansas City. And I think sometimes corners in general, they want to be that dude. They want to be cornerback 1, and cornerback 1 I think they see as an outside corner. Cornerback, first of all, I don't understand that terminology. Like you're either a dude or you're not, right? And so, but that's what the Chiefs have done with them. They put him at the nickel spot where you're going to face Tyreek Hill. You're going to face these guys, and you can blitz, and you can do so many different things. But Smith is also one of our better cover corners on the outside. The ability to go high point a ball and go up through a receiver and play physical. So we're going to utilize his skill set all over the field.
One more quick hitter, then I want to get back to corners for a second. Jackson Benny.
I just smile when you say that name because of the he's so competitive, and he's a guy that as a walk-on you're like, okay, you cheer for those guys, but he's a dude. Like he's Devon Bailey at the wide receiver spot, and Corene Reed, where after year one you're like, yeah, he's a scholarship player, and athleticism comes from the Vrains. Danny Vrains and that bloodline there, and excited for him, and he's going to get a ton of meaningful reps for us.
Is he a safety? Is he a corner? Or is he just a dude?
I would say he's a safety, but a lot like Sione Vaki, he can play that nickel role.
Okay.
Terrell Burgess played that nickel role as well. So again, versatility.
Back to your corners for a minute. Obviously,
Yep.
Smith, when we talk about, you've got Elijah Davis back, has got some experience. But after that, there's not a lot of guys that have either been in the program and played for you, or the guys that have been in the program haven't played a lot for you. So how are you guys kind of vetting through the corners as you head toward fall?
We've got some good veterans and guys that got meaningful reps in spring. Donovan Saunders, a transfer from Texas A&M, and length at that, right? Jeremiah Caldwell, JC transfer. Blake Cotton, 6'2 plus. JC Hart coming from Auburn. So honestly, we're going to have more depth than we had last season at the corner spot, and that is still a complete battle. I'm so proud of Scooby Davis and how the offseason has been for him, how he's attacked the offseason. He is a guy that we've always looked at, man, can he put on the weight? He just doesn't look like and now he's starting to look the part of a legitimate corner. He's put on the weight. He's stronger in the weight room. He's communicating with a little bit more juice. So I'm excited for what he's going to bring to the table this year.
Well, really, he got thrown in the fire last year because he because of injury, he got thrown in very early, and I thought he had some really good moments for you, considering that wasn't the plan for him to probably be as in the forefront as he was last year for your defense.
And really good moments. The thing that we loved about Scooby is he was fearless. He would throw it up in there, even if he was, all 170 pounds of him, he would hit. He was courageous. But now you put some more weight on, and now you're throwing dudes around, and you're being able to tackle with some force. So that's why I'm excited for Scooby, is he's put in the work.
You were excited earlier about your defensive ends, and when your defenses have been great, you've had maybe that double-digit sack guy, whether it was a Mika Tafua or a Bradley Anai or a Hunter Demmett, whatever it might be. Do you feel like you've got one of those guys? Is that still to be determined? I know you like your depth, but there's not a lot of on-field prove-it numbers outside of maybe a Logan Fano.
Yeah, and I've said this before, but I'm much more concerned about pressure than I am about sacks.
Okay.
As long as we're hitting the quarterback, as long as we're forcing him to get rid of the ball before he wants to get rid of it, that's what I'm looking for. Yes, we'd like the sack numbers to go up. So what you have to look at is, okay, when were those opportunities for us? When did we miss them? We missed a few that I can remember versus Colorado, with Shedeur escaping and us missing the tackle. We missed one, missed two versus Arizona State on a zero pressure, missed the Arizona quarterback a number of times. And that's a behavior thing. That's okay. We got to teach them aiming points, and we got to be better tacklers, and we got to come to balance on these athletic quarterbacks. So that's on us as coaches. But we're also hitting the quarterback and forcing him to get rid of the ball. And so I think we're one of the few teams where quarterbacks are having to get rid of the ball faster than before we faced them. So I love the athleticism of our defensive ends, and they're going to be good. They're going to be really good.
Couple more things. Then we'll let you go. Morgan Scalley with us. What's your biggest takeaway from year one of the Big 12?
Nothing earth-shattering.
Really?
Yeah. Physical, more run game oriented for sure. Still haven't faced everyone in the Big 12, so the quarterback play in the Pac-12, it was just hard to beat that because you had 3 first-rounders that you faced in 1 year. But very good coaching, very physical. I mean, just very similar to the Pac-12, just different stadiums, different teams, and programs are going to continue to recruit with the transfer portal. You may go from one year to the next going, oh, we didn't think we had a ton of great quarterbacks, and now we do. So, I really love the competition, and I'm excited to face some of these teams that we haven't seen yet.
All right, let's go deep here. If you could go jump at a time machine today and go back to Highland High School.
Oh, man.
And give a young and impressionable Morgan Scalley a bit of future career advice, what would it be?
Oh, jeez. I don't know that I would give career advice as much as I would just say, dude, learn to work. You better work. You got to embrace the grind, embrace discomfort, embrace hard things.
Well, that is career advice. That's life advice, and that's career advice, because it doesn't matter what profession you're in, whether it's college football, coaching, or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work if you want to be successful.
No question. There are no shortcuts.
There never are. Hey, thanks for doing this.
My man, Riles. Appreciate it, brother.
I'm excited about the season.
So am I.
There he is, Morgan Scalley, defensive coordinator.